Best is the show you're still watching, and I am Madrin Mwangaze. If you've been part of us from last week, but one, thank you for being here and staying tuned. And if you've just joined us, I would advise that you go back to the previous episode, see where we're coming from, and just connect, because we are sharing about some of the things I missed sharing with you when I was away. It's been long, like I said, last week but one. I had taken like 2 months without uploading any video, and I wanted to put you up to speed what has been happening in my life. And right now I'm super excited because my health is okay and everything is okay. And so let's keep it from where we stopped. Now, like I said, last week but one, I had been discharged from the hospital. There I am okay, I have learned these lessons, I am home, I am on my nutrition, and life seems to be getting better because, I mean, at that point, being on a diet, the pain had kind of started decreasing. And then after some time, oh my God, it started coming back. So I had to go back. I had an appointment with a gastroenterologist, and he put me into contact with another GI specialist, and they diagnosed me. They did something called an endoscopy, and they found out that I had some condition called gut and some grade 3 Herschel hernia. And yeah, I accepted because I was in a place of whatever it is, I am ready to face it because I wanted solution. And at that point, they put me on medication, and again, I went back home. So I went through that experience, and when I was okay, oh my God, I went back to work, and I was very excited. I was energetic. I was like, yes, let's do this. Guess what? COVID-19. Oh my God, COVID-19. Now, let me tell you something. I was very careful. I have been the most, even my boss told me, it's shocking because you've been one of the most careful people. I would wear 2 masks with a face shield. I would distance myself, coming close to me, unless, I mean, you're like you're this close, I know your ways. Now, I reached at office one day, I remember very well. Actually, I had taken some time without working. Now, I had started working for like 3 days. Now, on my 3rd day, I reach office, I have a meeting, and then I continue to Chibuli Hospital. Now, I packed because it was raining and I wanted it to like stop raining. I get out of the car. Now, during that process, I felt this temperature that came from nowhere. It was too much. Like, my temperature just rose just like that, and immediately I also felt some muscle pain, some muscle aches, and I felt like as if my throat was developing a cough. I felt like I am getting some running nose, and I was like adding the math of if they said if you get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, probably it could be COVID. So I told myself, Imagine, relax. When you go home, you will test, because I had some antigen test kits at home. So what I did in that moment, I had some Panadol, I took some paracetamol, and my temperatures came down. So when I got home, I remember it was around 5. And then the moment I went into the house like this, my mom was like, hey, your water for steaming is ready, because I would steam literally every single day for prophylaxis. And then I was like, today I'm going to first do a COVID test. She even laughed and she was like, what? I mean, are you serious? Because I seemed okay by the time I went home, and before then I was also asymptomatic. So I reached the bedroom, I do the test, and within 3 minutes my sister comes to me and she's like, can you imagine there are 2 lines? In other words, you are positive. But I kind of saw it coming, I should say, because a week ago I felt some tonsillitis. So in my mind, I had put a thing of whatever it is, I am ready, I will overcome. And people around me at work had gotten sick and healed, so I had this positive vibe of whatever it is, I will overcome. I don't mind if there are people who have been dying, I will not be one of them. I will overcome. So I just believed, prayed, and kept the positive attitude. So the next day, I remember I went to the hospital because I wanted to do a PCR, such that I can confirm exactly what's going on with me. And then after it comes back after 24 hours. So between then, I had an appointment with this COVID specialist who came to my office, and he did, a couple of tests on me, and he checked me, he diagnosed me, and he started me on medication. I will share my prescription, but I'm not saying you should use that in case you're sick. see a doctor. Yeah, so he put me on this medicine, and then I started immediately as I was waiting for my test, because remember the PCR takes 24 hours to come out. So I did it today. I saw the specialist, I started on medication just in case, since the antigen was positive. And then the following day I went back to check for my PCR results, and unfortunately they were also positive. So in my heart of hearts, I was glad I already started on my medicine. Now the next step was to isolate myself. So I had to leave home and get to a friend's place, stay there for 14 days. You know, it was, if I'm to be very specific, day one should have been easier. Day two, I was still a bit asymptomatic. I had just mild flu and the feeling of I'm going to develop a cough. Day three, I got a headache. Day four, oh my god, it was terrible. Like, I was sleepy, I had terrible headache, I was so tired, like I couldn't even walk. Like, I was so bad. And then I remember that's the point when my boss told me, you need to rest, because if you don't rest, you're going to just amplify the disease. So I took time off. I would just do evening walks, I would do exercises. Day 5, I still had a terrible headache, and now the cough had developed. It was like bombs coming out of me. It was too bad. Day 6 too, the cough was so bad and the flu was too much. And then day 7, it was just growing. It wasn't getting any easier, but I continued on my medicine because I knew I was doing the right thing. So each morning my day was like this. I would wake up, I would start by doing a few exercises, like for 5 minutes, because I was very weak. So I'd just do like the stretching, those things, and then check my pulse oximeter results, because I needed to know how much my oxygen saturation is. And then I would shower. I would first steam for 5 minutes and shower. Then I eat something, go back to bed. Do the same thing in the evening. Steam, shower, do a mild exercise. Like, there are some COVID exercises online I would see and follow, especially things to do with how to improve your breathing. And then I'll take my pulse oximeter readings, because I had to keep track of my oxygen saturation, because I was told if you don't, by the time you realize it's late, probably you could get admitted when your oxygen saturation is bad, and I didn't want to be in that position. So I would take my readings every day, and then from there I would still go ahead and have enough rest, take my multivitamins, take my medication. I never missed, and I had social support. I had someone who was always there for me, very positive, very encouraging, very energetic. So it went like that from day 7, 8, 9, and then towards day 10, all the other symptoms now dropped, and I had general body weakness, sleep. And then on day 13, I remember I had to prepare myself, because day 14 I had to go back and do a test. I was okay, literally, but I had one thing left, and that was the headache. I would wake up with a headache, stay the whole day with a headache, go to bed with a headache. It was too bad. It wouldn't even respond to ordinary paracetamol or par-12. I had to use Panadol with caffeine in it and extra coffee. It was terrible, but I had strong faith that I will be fine. And on day 14, I went back for a test. I was negative, sorry. And the next day, even the person who was taking care of me, they went and did their test, and they were negative, because in the process, they were also on medication. And at that point, I was like, oh my God, thank you. And guess what? After COVID effects. Now, I thought I would be fine, but then I was warned, or I was advised, that there's going to be a time where you have to ensure that you agree or understand that there are some effects you will have to face after COVID, and this included tiredness, sleepiness. So I faced all these things, but guess what? Now I am okay. But throughout that whole process, there are lessons that I learned, and I want to share with you. If you have somebody who has COVID, or if you have COVID, or you never know, it's also good to plan or be ready for it. Now, in case you ever get COVID, this is what you're supposed to do in order to make sure you recover fast. Because through experience, I learned these things, they worked for me, and I know they will work for you.